Alright, people, this was pretty much the last Wi-Fi battle that I had pre-recorded, and this was pretty much me at, like, my lowest point. I know that I just had that battle versus Tony Torkoal that I did pretty well, but I don't know, I think it was just everything with draft and all the stuff that was going on. This was kind of what was leading up to my hiatus, was just I was just so tired of mods. And you can see that because this is, like, the most just uber goober standard team I'd ever seen me bring. Usually, I'm all about making the lower tier mons work and having fun with those, but this time, I mean, this is crazy. We have not only Polt and Valiant, but we have Great Tusk and Dragonite. Although this is a choice specs Dragapult without U-turn, unfortunately. And not only that, I don't think there's any way for me to spread hat status on this team. But apart from that, just going to lead off with Trex Fairy. Yeah, I'm very disappointed I don't have Spec Shadow Ball, but we're going to do what we got to do. We do have an Ogerpon going into the sun here, and they've also got mons like Rillaboom. Yeah, honestly, I feel like my initial commentary for this was not very good at all. I was just very depressed and just like mad, so I'm glad nobody had to suffer through that. And we're just coming at it from just a new perspective, man. Just a new lease on life, you know? I'm just coming at this like a total outsider. I can't remember what happened in this game. But first, we're going to have Clef versus Rillaboom. So right off the bat, you guys already know, we're going to get up these hazards. So they're actually going to go for a substitute here, which is a little bit concerning, because as soon as I see substitute on a grass type, I'm like, please tell me you're not going to be Leech Seed. But at the very least, we can try to get rid of it with Moonblast. The thing is that they're going to probably Leech Seed and Protect. We can try and see if we can get rid of it. I'm actually going to go for Drum Beating, though, thankfully, and just drop my speed, which is not the greatest concern in the world for me. They do more than 50% though, which is concerning, which means that I have to switch out. They're going to take a Moonblast, and Substitute's going to fade. The good thing, though, is that my Dragapult is Infiltrator. The bad news is if I swap it in on another Drum Beating, then it's going to get its speed lowered. Seems like I don't want to do that necessarily. I don't want them setting up a substitute for free. I'm going to try to tank this. Indeed, I cannot. So, Clef goes down, but we did manage to get our Stealth Rocks up. And of course, we do have Dragapult to spin block the Torkoal. At this point, though, I don't have much that can really take out this Rillaboom apart from Dragapult, unfortunately. So we're just going to go ahead and go for a nice little Specs Flamethrower, I think. Although if I go for the Flamethrower, I do risk... That's the thing. Look at this. It's basically walled by that stupid Doxbun. So I'm expecting the Doxbun to come in. I'm going to go out into Ogerpon. If I had Choice Spec Shadow Ball, I'd go for that. The thing is, they can also go for Knockoff versus me, anticipating to live. So they are indeed going to withdraw their Rillaboom. Let's see if they go into... They actually go Great Tusk, though. So possibly an Assault Vest Great Tusk. At this point, though, this is a pretty good situation for me. They do have Rapid Spin. Oh, I forgot this thing has Rapid Spin, too, in addition to Torkoal. So they're probably going to end up Rapid Spinning my hazards, but I'm going to just do as much damage to this thing as I can. I mean, Ogerpon is pretty much my best way of dealing with Great Tusk. You know, I could potentially get a crit. This could do a lot. Either way, no way that this kills. Even on top of the... I just recently learned not too long ago that the 1.2% boost isn't from when Ogerpon tears. It's just from holding the mask, and it's just 1.2%. Or not 1.2, 1.2 times across the board on all of its moves. So there's the Rapid Spin. My hazards officially gone. Didn't really do a whole lot, and I can't get them back up. So that was a little bit demoralizing for me. Clefable pretty much went out without having done anything. I can try to get up a Horn Leech to try and get more recovery from that. The good news is, though, Great Tusk is severely weakened, so Dragapult should easily be able to pick it off. They're going to go into Tony Torkoal here. He's going to get the sun. Fortunately, Hornleech will not do that much at all. And what's even worse is now they have the opportunity to get up Stealth Rocks in my face. But thankfully I have my own Great Tusk. So I could try to drop a Draco on him, but that does invite back in the Darkspawn. Not very good for me. I really wish I had Shadow Ball or U-Turn on the set, as you can see. And there's the Stealth Rocks. We could try to remove those later. I probably should have just gone Hard Tusk. I'm not sure why I didn't. Maybe I was afraid of a Lava Plume and getting burned. But Torkoal does not have the best Spadef, so even a little Hex should go a long way. And Hex will be able to hit that Darkspawn, which is finally going to make its debut here in this battle, so we can get an idea for how much this is going to do. More than you might expect, honestly. I mean, that's a good chunk. I mean, it's only 15 base power off from Shadow Ball. Not quite a 2 a KO, but enough to maybe 3 a KO if I wanted to. So with that, I am going to try to get in Fiona. At the very least, Darkspawn can no longer switch in on Specs Hex, which is great. So I'm going to go back out into Fiona here. Unfortunately, take some hazards. I just didn't want to take a play rough on the Great Tusk if I could avoid it. Unfortunately, though, this thing has Healing and Wish. So it's probably going to protect. This does now give me the opportunity to go for a nice little Swords Dance. They can't do much about it. They're going to either switch, or they're going to protect, or they're going to attack and not do that much. So indeed they are going to switch. This gives me a free Swords Dance on whatever wants to come in. And it's going to be the Charizard. So Charizard's going to come in. I will be faster here, as I'm going to get that sharp attack raise. Get the solar power, which is going to hurt just a little bit. Although there's the wish. So at this point, I know that this thing is going to Terra. I'm going to go ahead and Terra just to get my little boost off, as well as get a Spadef boost just in case. Because I was pretty sure I wasn't going to kill this thing, assuming that they Terra into something. But I knew that I could do a lot. I mean, I'm +2, even though it's in the sun. Should still do a good chunk. We're going to get that embody aspect real quick. Let's see what they want to go for. So, there's the Terra Dragon of their own, as they're now going to turn into a dragon type. So they're going to resist, and the sun is not helping me out either here. So not a great situation for Ogerpon. He's going for Ivy Cudgel, but this is my strongest move possible. Going to go for it and almost take it out. Look at that with a crit. But we do have this Spadef boost to be able to tank this Fire Blast. As the solar power is going to end up taking it out. Now, based on that crit, I'm trying to think if I could have gone for another Ivy Cudgel and maybe it would have killed. Or I could have, I mean, I was going for a resisted hit in the sun. So, at that point, surely a +2 high horsepower killed. So, or Stomping Tantrum. So, there's that. So, at this point, Ivy Cudgel should kill. I'm going to go for Hornleech, though, just to get just a little bit of recovery back. My Ogerpon is sitting pretty. Even though it's in the sun, it's still able to put in some work. That Spadef boost came in huge. I'm used to using Ogerpon in draft, as I said previously in other videos. So being able to actually get the Spadef boost is huge. Though one time in the UNBL, I did face a Ogerpon Wellspring, which could Terra, and that was busted, man. Because that was able to get the Spadef boost and remove the grass type and become just a pure water. And that was just a pain to deal with, man. Either way, for this game at the very least, this Hornleech is looking mighty good, mighty good. I was wondering, though, at this time, why haven't they gone Rillaboom? They can just Grassy Glide me. Unless the only thing I can think of, they don't have Grassy Glide. They've got Sub, Drum Beating, Protect, Leech Seed, or something nonsense like that. And they can't hit me. Of course, I can't really hit them, is the biggest thing. The Rillaboom still has a lot of HP. They still haven't gone the Rillaboom. I don't know what they're doing here. So, I'm just going to keep on Hornleech. I know I can do a good chunk. I have my Spadef boost If I can get enough HP to potentially live an attack, then we'd be set. They're going to go for the discharge. With this Spadef boost, we're able to tank it, so Ogerpon's continuing to go in. Now the sun is finally gone. I'm going to keep trying to get some more recovery here. Such a good Pokemon. Were they trying to suspect this thing to Urs? I can't remember. Haven't kept up with the tiers in so long. Like, who even knows what the current state of Smogon is? I don't know. I think I saw they just banned Unburdened the ZU tier, which, you know, makes sense. Can be a dangerous thing down there. Along with, what else did they ban? Some other Pokemon. Can't remember. Torkoal's gonna come back in. There's still no really good. I was really wondering why, because Lord Monarch is usually a very good battle. I'm not sure if the crit must have made him salty and thrown them off or something like that. That could potentially be it. But this Item Touch is still gonna be super effective. Even though it's in the sun, it's +2 and it's gonna take it out. So there we go. I'm trying to figure out what got banned. From ZU. Thwackey makes sense, that priority. Speaking of which, here's its father, Rillaboom. So the Rillaboom's finally come in. And at this point, I pretty much, well, yeah, I've got the flamethrowers in the sun. The sun was finally active. I couldn't really use it before. Only problem is that Darkspot is still around. So here they're going to go for the drum beating. And unfortunately, they are indeed going to get a crit and lower my speed. So a little bit of justice there, but I don't think the crit here mattered as much as the other one did. Although I still think Stomping Tantrum would have killed. So at this point, I'm not looking too great. They do only have Darkspun in this thing left. I thought they'd go Darkspun, but they're just going to stay in, which is fair. They go for a drum beating. So, at this point, I'm going to go out into my Dragonite. Pretty sure the Dragonite, I still have that pesky Darkspun, but it's so low. If I can Dragon Dance up, then I can maybe take care of it. I do have to watch out because I already used my Terra. So, there's the Dragon Dance at this point. We're now going to see, I'm assuming, another drum beating to try to... Oh, I guess I missed it. My bad, I was responding to some stuff. They finally went for Leech Seed, look at that. They did indeed have Leech. Of course they're going to have sub-Leech Seed, man. So with this, though, Extreme Speed, I mean, +1 should do a lot. I obviously can't go for Outrage, because Darkspun's the last mon left. They were going to switch, though, which was surprising. You know, why not have Darkspun come in safely on the next turn? Maybe they thought that I would continue to Dragon Dance and let them get Leech Seed recovery. It is questionable whether or not they're in range after all this, because they're going to get Leftovers, Grassy Terrain, and Leech Seed. So, you know, lots of recovery going on here. They might be just out of range because of all that. And because of that, I think I'm going to save my Dragonite for later. Just because I kind of need it to deal with the Rillaboom. So I'm going to send in Fiona here. Just because I know that it's useless at this point. It can't beat Rillaboom 1v1. Which is kind of what I needed to do. It's crazy how all three of its moves are resisted by grass. So get that embody aspect. They actually go for a protect, so I get a free turn here. They get rid of the Leech Seed. They still have Grassy Terrain left over, so. But this Ivy Cudgel, once the sun is finally gone, at some point, I'm hoping it's right now. There goes the grass. So the sun probably has a little bit more to go. I can go for the Horn Leech, though, and get some beautiful recovery here. Almost take out the Darkspun. I should be able to live any hit they want to go for. They're probably just going to go for a Wish. If they do, then I can start Swords Dance. I'm going for the Psychic Fangs, though. So Psychic Fangs, Wish, Protect, something like that. I guess it makes sense. Psychic Fangs for those pesky poisons. Another Horn Leech will do. Another Horn Leech will do. If they want to go back out in Rillaboom, this Darkspawn is now in range of just about any attack from anything. So we're looking solid. We're looking solid. We'll see what they want to do though. Yep. Seems like they probably accepted defeat here, as Ogerpon's going to get some healing, and Darkspawn is finally going to go down. Now, like I said, you know, this was kind of me entering like my Pokemon hiatus arc. You know, the course of these several Wi-Fi battles that I've uploaded, you know, I've done pretty good and all. But I don't think it was necessarily about that. It was just kind of like how I felt when I was in these Pokemon battles. You know, I didn't feel like I was playing necessarily to the best of my ability, or like I just didn't enjoy it, maybe. Something like that. But I'm gonna go for the Ivy Joy. That still does so much damage now that the sun's finally out. They're gonna go for the drum beating and finally take care of my Ogerpon. So Ogerpon goes down here. Maybe it was just the dissatisfaction of me not being able to keep my stealth rocks up. But I definitely want to be able to get Iron Valve to put in a little bit of work here. One of my favorite Paradox Pokemon. And so if we can do something, that'd be great. Forgot they got rocks up, that's crazy. So gonna get my speed heightened. I'm fairly certain they don't have Grassy Glide, because I feel like they'd have used it at this point. Just gonna go for a little Moon Blast here, or I could just go for CC. I'm probably looking at my stats to see what's best to go for. So the battle was canceled actually right there. So GG's to Lord Monarch. Again, very happy to be back to Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles, and we'll see you guys in the next one.